The Fortnite community is back at it again, but specifically two members of the Fortnite community this time. We have some beef between Hypex and Scyan. Did you see this coming? I kinda did, to be honest with you, but it's a thing that's been going on since, not the beginning of time, but for a little while now within the Fortnite community. Hypex ended up lashing out on Scyan, and like I said, guys, we're gonna cover everything for you today. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. Let's talk about this, guys. We have a little bit of a guest with us today. Last time she was a little bit noisy, so I actually have some baby sensory on the other screen. Regardless, guys, let me bring you over to this first post by Hypex, and this is rewinding a little bit of how the beef actually began. Like, beef. I was surprised to learn that this was actually, like, something Hypex was really actually digging at Scyan for. So it was a quote tweet over at, or I mean, a screenshot of what Scyan had to say, and Scyan was talking about the brand new season, which I'll touch on in just a second, okay? Scyan said, "I'm not playing this next season at all. I will finish a battle pass, I will get replay shots for my video, I am not supporting this piece of trash, we deserve better." Hypex had this to say in response to it. "I'm sorry, but if you seriously got this mindset, you're just not fun at all, and it just looks bad for you overall." Hypex calling out Scyan right away, and I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, because we're going to dive into Scyan, I'm going to defend Scyan a little bit, but I do wish that Scyan had a little bit of a better mindset towards this initial season. Do I think that Scyan was overreacting about how the season was going to play out? Yes, I do. He's a very, very passionate member of the Fortnite community, and I will explain my thought process through this as we continue on with the video. So this is where it all began. Hypex screenshotting Scyan, and unfortunately there was a ton of people really in the replies just digging at Scyan. It wasn't just like talking about Scyan like not wanting to be part of the game. They were really like attacking Scyan personally a little bit. Now, I didn't want to grab those and put those online. I wanted things to be a little bit productive here, so I want to take a couple replies, and we're going to go through the many more tweets that we have between Scyan and Hypex. So in the meantime, Starry had this to say: "All the lore-obsessed players acting surprised that this season isn't lore-focused. Like, after Chapter 5, I don't know why this comes as a surprise, and why do we care about the story over the gameplay? Who gives a damn as long as it's fun?" As somebody who likes the Fortnite storyline, I actually do agree with this tweet. I miss the storyline with all of my heart. I've talked about it for a very long time, but I don't really understand why so many people were expecting to get lore through with the way that Chapter 5 is played out and the way that Dr. Doom ended. I expected absolutely nothing, and I mean, the gameplay is more important, again, in my opinion. I know that there's a lot of people who play the game for the storyline, but that's kind of my thought process through this whole thing. But anyways, let's continue on over to the next tweet. Hypex had this to say, and this is still within the previous interactions that they've had, and it's him laughing, playing the game, and it's another quote tweet to Scyan saying, "If you don't give a shit about the soul of Fortnite and this gameplay actually having an identity, that is not my problem." Unfortunately, I didn't realize there was a show more to that, but regardless, you get the point. Scyan was just defending himself and why he's so passionate about the Fortnite storyline. Hypex just saying, "Hey, I'm gonna play Chapter 2, I'm gonna enjoy myself, okay?" Scyan replied to that and said, "This is me tomorrow. Honestly, a way better experience. Trust me, try it out." And it's Scyan touching grass. And what's funny was Scyan actually uploaded an entire video of him actually touching grass, like a whole thing of him just outside talking. "Excuse you." My baby's grabbing the microphone. "Hey, what's going on? Why are you grabbing this? I'm trying to record a video." anyways, my apologies, guys. But yeah, so Scyan just playing around. Hypex seemingly being serious. I know it's really tough because I don't know Hypex, but from an outside perspective, it seems that he actually has an issue with Scyan. But Scyan honestly just treating that as a joke, going outside, touching grass, and I like that he actually did go out and touch grass. And what made this even funnier is Loot Station replied to that saying, "I've seen this gif too much." Scyan just goes, "Go touch grass." I actually laughed at this one. We're gonna have some more funny tweets, by the way. It's not gonna stop there. It's gonna continue on. So, of course, with anything that Loot Station does grinding to level 1000, people are like, "Oh my god, Loot, get a life. Loot, go touch grass." So it was just funny seeing Loot Station. Loot Station saying that, and then Scyan just saying to go touch grass. I don't like it. I love it. Anyways, so let's continue on to the present day. And at the time that you're seeing this video, this was yesterday. Hypex screenshotting Scyan again. And it's Scyan, and this is the problem. This is where I think that actually Hypex has a little bit of a thing against Scyan, because obviously he's memeing around, okay? "Imagine Donald Mustard's return like, 'I have to come save my child before it's too late. What have they done to you? Why is Midas wearing Jordans? Why Snoop Dogg took over his agency?'" Of course, like, it's just a funny tweet. Scyan messing around. But Scyan, like, there is a little bit of truth to it, and like, he obviously misses Donald Mustard, he misses the Fortnite storyline and all of that stuff, right? And there was a tweet in between that by Alistor's Live, and this is something that I wanted to clear the air about with Scyan, okay? This is what he had to say. Scyan gotta be the weirdest dude in the community, bro. Nobody should be this obsessed with the game, and that a person who used to work on the game being theorized to come back, he isn't, by the way, is like Jesus Christ revival. Like, bro, please stop. It's very important to note that people get it wrong in the idea that Scyan being passionate about the game means that this is Scyan's entire existence. Scyan is a Fortnite storyline channel, and Scyan has been incredibly passionate about the game for a very, very long time. And honestly, Scyan is a very pleasant person as well. So here's the problem, okay? Here's the problem. Everybody takes Scyan's passion for the Fortnite game and just assume like this is all he's ever done with his entire life. Like, I don't know why you guys would just believe that. Like, what do you want him to do? Upload about his daily life? Like, he's a Fortnite channel. He's specific to Fortnite, and he's putting a lot of passion and heart into the work that he does. That does not mean that Scyan is treating Donald Mustard like a genius. We meme about this stuff. It's not actually accurate. Scyan doesn't look up to Donald Mustard like a god. That's just not true, and that's the big misconception that people have with Scyan. Honestly, I feel bad for Scyan in this sense, because he's typically, and I understand he's had his moment with Chapter 2 Remix. I get that, and there's been a couple other moments where Scyan has been pretty hateful about what's going on, but ultimately it does come from passion. He is respectful to people, and I think this is something about not just Scyan, but a lot of people who make content in general. A lot of people just assume that this is your entire existence. A lot of people, I get those comments down below too. I'm a very, very busy guy. Like, I do a lot outside of this, and ultimately, anything that happens in Fortnite doesn't affect my life in any way. But I upload a video being somewhat passionate about something, saying like, hey, I care a lot about this game, and people comment down below, and this isn't too often, but enough people have this mindset where it's noticeable, where it's like, oh my god, is this grown man seriously, like, it's Fortnite, bro, calm down. I'm like, I am completely calm. What do you want me to talk about? Like, you want me to be a robot talking about this? But I am passionate about the video game. I love this game, and I love talking about it. Does not mean it's my entire existence. The same thing when I upload MMA videos. I make some videos like fight reactions and stuff, and there are fighters that I have a lot of respect for, a lot like family men. Like, once those types of guys lose, I make a video saying, oh my god, this fight actually broke my heart. Did it break my heart? No, not at all. It didn't break my heart one little bit. But I felt bad for the guy, and I'm invested in the sport that I love. And I'll get comments on those videos like, oh my god, you weren't even part of this. This dude doesn't know you, lil bro. Calm down. I'm like, dude, are you serious right now? This ultimately has no effect on my day. And I feel really bad for Scyan, because people take this to the extreme with him. He posts a lot about the love that he has for Fortnite and the storyline on Twitter. He's just a passionate Fortnite fan. Are you not passionate about something? Is there nothing that you're passionate about? Let's say, like, whether it's something like a sport like hockey, or is it music? You talk about your interests with people that also have your same interests, and Scyan does that on Twitter with an amazing Fortnite community that he's built around him. So I think that's very important to take into consideration when you speak on Scyan, if you're one of those people who feel that way. Ultimately, there are a lot of us on this platform that the topics that we cover are very minuscule to our actual lives. At the end of the day, as much as I talk about Fortnite, no matter what, I'm going to jump on and I'm going to play the game. It doesn't matter. But let's continue on with the tweets over here. Scyan ended up replying to that screenshot post by Hypex and said that was more of a meme for how wild the game is becoming. It was not said to be like that's a bad thing, but he's definitely not happy about how live events and story has been treated. So a little bit of truth to it, but Scyan also, and it's very important to note, Scyan still is memeing at these things. People take Scyan way too seriously. Again, it's very, very important that you don't misinterpret what Scyan is saying. A lot of people say some things about Scyan are true, like say he's some guy who is just completely enveloped in the Fortnite storyline. That's an entire existence. He's just passionate about it, and it's important to not mess up that. But now let's continue on over with the tweets. Scyan had this to say. Hypex carefully searching for a Scyan tweet to take out of context for fun. And it is funny the way that Scyan's handling this, to be honest with you. I think that humor is always the best way to handle some things. But anyways, Hypex clapped back at Scyan and had this to say. Carefully searching, you have 3,000 tweets and replies this month, and every single one of them is either straight out of a mental asylum or obsessing over Donald Mustard. And I would imagine that this is accurate, because Scyan is on Twitter a lot. Scyan does tweet a lot, and of course, this is an over-exaggeration. Scyan is not always talking about Donald Mustard. He just talks about Fortnite so much that Donald Mustard ends up coming a lot. But anyways, we continue on with the tweets, and oh, okay. I needed to include this one, guys. I knew there'd be a little bit of humor in this video. Okay, so I saw this. Angelica Reed responded and said LMAO to Hypex. Scyan ended up replying to this person and said, that's all 90% replies to people, not tweets. I have a lot of respect for anyone who replies to my tweets, and a lot of people reply, so I always do my best to respond back as much as possible. Of course, it would become that many. Now, this is something that I actually really respect about Scyan, because I'm somebody who kind of feels the same way. I always feel bad that I've reached a point in YouTube, which I'm extremely grateful for, and I know it's like, it's such a dumb thing to complain about, but it means a lot to me that I can't keep up with all of my comments anymore, because people take their valuable time, and the time that people give you is so valuable, not only to watch your video, but to comment down below, give all of their thoughts. I love the fact that people do it, and I try my best to keep up with these comments as much as I can to show the same amount of respect and acknowledge what they say, respond to it. Scyan does such a good job keeping up with people, and I highly respect him for that. I wish that I could do the same, and I know how that's gonna sound too, because I can be like, oh my god, look how busy I am, you know, but like truthfully, I do a lot in a day, and a ton of Scyan's tweets are actually replying to people. So Scyan has a huge amount of respect for the people that follow him, for the people who interact with him, and I think that's a very commendable trait of Scyan's. Excuse me. Let's continue on to, okay, this same thread. Ain't no way bro replied to an OF account, and Scyan didn't know it was an OF account. I had a feeling right at the beginning. I clicked, you know, when you go onto Twitter, I'm not gonna have a screenshot for you, but you know when you go onto Twitter on the web and it's like people in this conversation over to the right, and I saw that profile in that conversation, and it was like, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was like, check out my secret tattoo, and I'm like, no, Scyan's replying to an OF model, man. I messaged Scyan about that afterwards, and he actually had no idea, which is true. Like, Scyan replies to a lot of people, again, showing respect for the people that interact with him. I just found it funny. I really needed to include that. Let's continue on. Jojo Josiah had this to say, Hypex, hop off my mentally questionable, possibly unstable, perhaps declining oomph. I don't know what oomph means. Is my boomer showing right now? Regardless, mentally questionable, possibly unstable, perhaps declining. What's Scyan declining? Everybody can catch me up on what that means. Let's continue on. So Scyan had a big reply to all of this, and we're also going to touch on something that Scyan had to say as a general message to everybody interacting him and with the Fortnite community. We're going to be taking a look at both of those. But guys, before we actually get to that, I want to stop you for just a second. As you guys know, I just started a family. My little one is right next to me screaming right now. So I have been working very hard online to provide for my family over here. So every little bit helps, guys. If you do not have a supporter creator code you are using in the item shop, please consider using code Clen in the item shop. Every little bit helps, and you guys have no idea how nice it's been to see that little bit of a boost. So thank you very much. I ask that you consider if you are already not using a code. Also, as you guys do know as well, I am your guy with 20 YouTube channels. If you guys are interested in checking out any of the channels, description down below, the homepage, we make movie content, we make martial arts content, we make reaction content. We have so many channels for you to check out. I would love to have you guys over at any other channel. I really appreciate those of you who have been going over there. Anyways, let's get on to what Scyan had to say. 90% of the Donald Mustard tweets for yesterday are basically, that's it. The Donald Mustard tweets are about proof that he said himself he left because Fortnite, the higher-ups, did not agree with him that live events and story are the magic of Fortnite. And those team resources, LTM resources, etc. were moved into making Lego rocket racing, etc. instead. 3,000 tweets is me working as hard as I can, gathering money to make a $500 contest, doing everything I can to bring hope for storyline community. You wish you gave the same love I am for your community. You are making fun of me for putting every single effort in my soul to save the storyline community. While I am trying to, why am I trying to save it? Because a storyline community does not need negativity to survive. Like you going after the entire story community, making fun of it for attention. Comment on that. I've personally not seen that from Hypex, but I don't follow him. But honestly, I don't personally doubt that he would do it, but take that with a grain of salt. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with that one. Instead, story community is genuinely the most wholesome community I've seen in gaming. I am doing my best to save it for the community, and it continues on. This is a very long post. I want to see the people in it here have fun. I want the best for them. I am not making a 2-hour-long video for them to waste my time. If you don't have the same level of effort as me to go this hard on reaching a goal you have, that is genuinely not my problem. No matter what it takes, I will nonstop to do my best to save this community and see it get what it deserves. You can help out and see a start of the Fortnite community finally be happy again, or you can be there clout chasing drama, chasing hating on an entire community for personal fun. We got one person here doing their best for a big group of people. Then we got you making fun of that entire group of people just wanting to have fun again. Do better, or let's talk so you understand what's even going on right now for me and for story community to be going against the game so much at the moment. Stop talking out of the air with having no context of what's even going on, without having no clue why the storyline community is mad at the game. Don't care about the story? Then why are you even talking about it? Mind your own business. I don't like leaks being a thing. Want me to make fun of you all the time too, and the entire leaks community? Let's continue on with this post. But I have no idea how you don't see what you do is extremely toxic at the moment. But I hope you do see it. I don't want people to hate each other in this community for no reason. But you came after me first, so I gotta defend myself. Now, it's very tough because from an outside perspective here, like I said at the beginning of the video, Scyan is an incredibly passionate person for his community, and I respect him for that. He's always very, very pleasant. Every single interaction from the point that I met him has been a positive one. I do agree that he took it too far when it came to the Chapter 2 drama with Chapter 2 Remix drop, saying and spewing a lot of hate towards Epic Games. But the problem is, so many people like Hypex make fun of Scyan for supposedly just living and breathing Fortnite and talking about Donald Mustard like he's a god. It's all just playing into this fun brand that Scyan built. And what's genuinely sad about this to me is Hypex does have a big reach, and I've never been one of those guys because you have a big reach doesn't mean you should shut up. I've never been one of those guys. I just find it a little bit sad because Scyan does try to bring a lot of positivity, especially when it comes into his community. I understand, again, sometimes it's too far and sometimes I agree with that, but the vast majority of interactions that Scyan has with people is overwhelmingly positive. Because I know Scyan as a person, it does make me sad to see these comments being spoken about him like that, and I wanted to come on and kind of defend his character a little bit. For me personally, every single interaction that I've had with this man has been overwhelmingly positive, not just positive. And I know there are people out there that have their issues with the storyline community. I personally don't. I think it's probably, I'd have to really sit back and think about it. From off the top of my head, it's probably the most wholesome community within the Fortnite community, which is full of nothing but toxicity. So it's really cool to see Scyan try to bring them together as he usually does. Same with Retro. I love to see that for the Fortnite storyline community. But the conversation does not end there. Emmanuel had this to say: I think that both of you and Hypex should settle this beef in private. Continuing this beef in public will only add fuel to the fire. I think that both of you are acting like children, but I do think that Hypex is in the wrong here, but I'm not here to say who's in the right or not. Now, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I love you, Emmanuel, but I think you kind of said who you think is right or wrong there, but regardless, that's besides the point. The reason that I wanted to bring this in is because Scyan did reach out to Hypex, and Hypex, to my knowledge, at the time of recording this video, I just spoke with Scyan, did not reply. Now, I gotta give Hypex a little bit of the benefit of the doubt here, because I'm sure his DMs are absolutely flooded. I can speak on this because I have such a small reach within the Fortnite community. My DMs are flooded. I cannot imagine for somebody with millions of followers. So I also think it's important for everybody to not just look at Hypex and go, wow, this guy really won't settle the beef with Scyan. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Only time will tell. But I also wanted to point to one other thing, because Emmanuel and Anorak had both tagged me about this story on Twitter, because I was at work this morning, or at the time you're seeing this, yesterday, and I didn't know this thing was going on. So I really appreciate when you guys do that. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter at Clen YouTube. The link will be in the description down below if you just want a quick link there. Please, I'd be happy to have you tag me in anything that you potentially would want me to cover in the videos. I do appreciate that. Now, there was one more message that Scyan, and I asked Scyan, I would reach out to Hypex too as well to see if we can get these two talking together, but of course, Hypex, there's no way I can get into contact with that guy. But Scyan did have something that he did want to say to the Fortnite community and the people online just spectating this in general, and this is what he had to say. By the way, if you're this far into the video, hit like, subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Everything I am doing at the moment is to make sure Fortnite doesn't lose hold on what people want Fortnite to be. At the moment, Epic is way too focused on reaching their goal of the metaverse, and they are willing to sacrifice anything for it. It started with LTMs, then it was weekly map changes, then it was live events, then the storyline itself, then it was the amount of updates we got in Fortnite. Next up, they might turn Battle Royale into a whole advertisement of the metaverse, and it's not its own thing anymore. The only way we can save Fortnite before that happens is if the community united together and strongly together shows Epic what we want. If we don't do that, Epic will keep sacrificing anything they want for the sake of the metaverse. 900 devs being laid off for the sake of the metaverse too. Either we do this right now, or there is no hope for the future of Fortnite. This is something that Scyan really wanted to know. Again, kind of goes to show just how passionate he is for this game. And I do hope that these two could speak in private to settle the beef. It's always better when when there's people online that just don't hate each other. It's cool when people can settle things down, understand each other. That's always a very, very nice thing to do. But guys, speaking of beef, if you haven't seen it yet, Scyan had some beef with Loot Station in a Fortnite trivia game. You should check out that video. It's a banger, guys. I would love to have you over there. Take care, guys.